Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to a Punch Out Thursday to Die for, where we'll all be using our punches and or our dies to create a layout, and I'm using both on my layout today. I'm going to scrap these two pictures of my youngest grandson, so it's going to be a wintry, cool layout for a nice hot summer day. I'm using that die there, and it is Tim Holtz die. It's a tree ring die. And this one is quick cuts and it has a shadow, and I'll be using four of those letters. I am also going to use some of my snowflakes and the icicle one. Um, I'm going to put both on the layout. Then I am going to use some of those black enamel dots. Plus I'll have to pull out, I think, one more. And I've got my pieces, well, already cut, but I cut them from scraps, and I want to use I one sticker. I think one sticker is all I use. And this collection is Echo Park. I forgot for a second there. Echo Park. I love winter. And the stencil I am using is a Vicky Bouton one, and it has like little circles and then actual snowflakes. So I put it all around the center is what I ended up doing. I'm going to add three banners, and they are snowflake banners. So I'm going to have snowflakes on top of snowflakes on top of snowflakes. Now, those two pictures of Malachi, they are, well, Jason had a basketball game he had to go to in Springfield, Missouri. And they took all three of the younger kids because the older ones had to work. Anyway, they went several places sightseeing while they were there that weekend. And I believe, I am almost positive, this one was at the park. So I'm going to be putting something to do with the park on there. Not the park, the zoo. But it could have been a park. But I'm not going to put anything on there for that. But he did pick up a piece of ice. So that's why I'm having the icicles. Well, it's a winter layout. I like using it anyway. But it has like leaves and bits of brown stuff all in it. And he was examining it, and my daughter-in-law was taking a picture, and before she knew it, he was putting it in his mouth. So 2-year-olds, yeah, they're pretty fast at that. Now, although I wish my icicles were 6 inches so I could just put two on there, they're not. So I'm filling in the center and trying to make it not be as noticeable that it is filled in the center. I inked them in broken china, and it's just the distress ink. It is not the oxide ink. And I am going to, I think, oh, part of my title I'll be inking too, but I think that's it because I didn't think about inking the white snowflakes that I'm using. I'm just now thinking of that. Since I forgot my sickles until after I put the banners on, I scooted them up a little bit, and that's why you see me trimming off, and that way they wouldn't overlap the banners there. Let's see, what am I doing now? Oh, okay, I'm going to put the pictures on there. I was trying to decide which way to put them, and then I decided to make a snowman. And it's like one of the easiest punch heart things you can make because it takes just a few circles. If you can build a snowman in the yard, you can do a punch art one. Oh, I got interrupted here, and so you will see everything looks a little different, but I tried to do some couple of things while I was on the phone, and that wasn't working out, so I just quit and talked. Uh, I'm making a hat, and so I used 1 inch, 1 inch on the head, and so I used 1 inch for the hat, so it fit down over the head really good. The center one is 1.5, and then the larger one is 2 inches. I tried the 1 3/4, and it just didn't. It looked so close to the same size as the 2 inches. I had to go down just a little bit. I am freehanding the scarf, And of course, I did freehand the brim on the hat. And I forgot to use my white gel pen. I didn't think of that till I was watching myself on the video too. But the scarf is pretty easy to make, and if you ink the edges, then it looks more rounded. I used a 1/8 inch punch for the eyes, but I'm going to end up using the enamel dots. I decided they were dimensional and I might as well use them. And they fit perfectly right over these eyes, so I didn't have to take them off before I put the enamel dots on there. I cut a super tiny little carrot for the nose, but it was super tiny. And put it on there, made it over a lap just a little bit on the scarf. The back of that red paper has the snowflakes, so I kind of sort of fussy cut out one of them. I went around it fairly loosely and inked it, and then I decided I wanted one also for the scarf. So I'm using a bigger one, and I'm going to do the same thing with it and go ahead and use the red ink on it too. And that red ink is Barn Door. Yeah, Barn Door. Oh, and I'd forgotten I added a red enamel dot to that snowflake that is on the scarf. I'm going to try to squeeze 3 in on the middle part of the body. I didn't want them to go all the way down. And so one's going to kind of go just a little bit underneath the scarf so they'd go in the places that I wanted them in. I probably should have put them on before I put the scarf on. I pulled my uh, paper back out because I thought I was done with punch art, but you will see I am not. I'm going to go ahead and make something else in just a little bit. The foam tape I put underneath the photos is a pretty thin foam tape, so they're not gonna kind of stand up very much, but I'm gonna put the same size underneath the snowman so you can overlap that photo just a little bit. But you can see my grandson there looking at his chunk of ice. You can also see him with it in his mouth. I planned on using both that large tree ring and the one that still needed ink, the smaller one. The one that, well, I don't even know where it's at now. But anyway, there was another one and I planned on using both. But I ended up cutting this one in half instead. And see that little penguin? That's what I'm going to decide I want to make one. Uh, and so he'll look a little bit like that one. My title said, Whose Needs Chocolate? I Found an ICEE. And looking at the video, I think I'm going to take the question mark off there because I don't think it needs to be a question. It's like offhand, who needs chocolate? And not a question. So I'm going to take the question mark off, but leave the rest. And my ICEE, I use those alphas and I put them on there. And then I hand cut those icicles because those other ones were way too big. And my hands were in the way, or I would have done it on video because, yeah, you couldn't really see me cutting those little teeny tiny icicles and putting them on there. I just noticed that the E's have more icicles on them than the I and the C. I did them first because that's where they were laying, and I just picked them up and did them first. I guess I was getting kind of tired before I made it to the I and the C, but they do have icicles on there. I use my large Stampin' Up! Oval punch for the body, and then you've seen the primitive heart, I think is what it's called. And I put those wings on there, but I should have put them on last because I'm going to end up having to move them when I put the scarf on there because they're just not in the right place for my scarf, not at all. I use my EK Success little flower punch for the feet and only have 3 of the petals showing, so that puts 2 behind. And yeah, I had to pull another package out to get one more eyeball for this little guy. And here's where I think pretty soon I noticed that the wings are in the wrong place. Oh, I got to put his little beak on there. I cut just a little square and I'm going to turn it so it looks like a diamond instead and tuck it right underneath his eyeballs. Yeah, you see how close his wings are to his face? They're right up there, so they do not work out there. I will notice it in a minute. But yeah, they're going to get moved down. I guess I could have just left the scarf off because he does look cute with his little arms flapping right there. But, I was thinking the snowman had a scarf, so the little penguin has a scarf as the inspiration. And then I needed to go ahead and put a scarf on there so he wouldn't be under clothes for the outdoors and get too cold. But while I'm making the scarf and moving his little arms and all that, I want to mention that down there below you'll find the links to everybody else that are doing the Punched Out Thursday to die for, where we'll all be using our punches and our dice. And like I said, I use both. Most of the time I do. It's very rare that I don't use both. Uh, where am I at? I, well, I'm moving his arms. That's what I was doing. I was moving his arms because I had to peel them off the back. But by the time I add a snowflake there too, you're not going to see his arms anyway. They looked a lot cuter before I put the scarf on there. I am trying to decide where we're putting Frozen in Time because I was thinking Frozen in Time, his little icy thing there is Frozen in Time. And oh yeah, the rest, I think all I have left to do is put the snowflakes on there. And while I'm putting them on there, I'm going to mention that you will see in the photos at the end, there are a few more icicles on there than there is at the end of the video. Because I decided I needed a few up there mixed in with the icicles at the top. So I did mix some of the smaller ones in up there. And although I use the dies for my snowflakes, I use the one set. I am not sure the name of them because I threw the packaging away years ago. But I also have punches, and they're laying there over to the right. And if y'all have punches or just starting to buy punches, the one with the looks like a rectangle, that shape is the easiest ones to use. Those other two, my thumbs are kind of rough trying to punch them out there. So that other, the one that anytime it's a rectangular punch, it usually punches a lot easier. And they do seem more sturdily made, if that's a word. But yeah, they seem a lot better too. And oh, I needed a few more small ones, and I had more blue to start with. I thought I may or may not have, but I thought I did. So I punched a few red ones. And I will punch both when I do the ones up at the top so I can add some up there. And I have a question for y'all. Does daily life give you ideas for your layouts? It does mine. I had a whole different title planned for this. I don't even remember what it was. It was similar because I had that sticker for the hot chocolate. But I was ordering groceries online so I could go pick them up. And I was getting something for the grandkids when they're out here to snack on. So was getting these icy things. And I thought, oh, I could call that lump. Well, it looks kind of flat. It's a flat piece of ice and icy. And change my title and go ahead and make my title like that. So I cut the little sort of rectangular thing. I think they're cups in the real logo, and put the icy on there. And I did put the eye upside down, but I noticed it somewhere in this video and turned it right side up. But there's my hand drawn icicles on there, and yeah, they're very tiny. But if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so very much. And thank you all for watching my video today. Go check out the other gals and see what they did today. Have a happy, scrappy week. Bye.